As always, appreciate you guys joining us. Tremendous opportunity in front of us this week as we welcome Michigan, Coach Moore and his team here to the Shell this Saturday. As I told our players yesterday, the next 2 weeks we're in what I call a play-on situation where for us to play on, this first game is a really important game because it gives us a chance to extend our season. And so to extend our season into December, which is a needed opportunity for a team like ours. We need everyone on our roster to play for the guys next to them. We got a senior group that I have a lot of respect for that made the decision to come here. Some of them 5 years ago, like Ethan Goff. Some of them 4 years ago, like Punch and Octavian. And these guys have poured their hearts out for the Maryland football program through good and bad. And I also want to acknowledge a few other things that are going on Saturday. Obviously, it's a military appreciation game, which is something that's big for us around in this area. The impact that the military has had in this area. As someone who's worked at military academies, it's something that's really important, especially knowing and seeing the guys that I had a chance to coach that are now out leading our military. I think Sean Merriman and A.J. Francis, two guys I had the opportunity to coach, are doing their give-backs this weekend. I think Sean, who's done his coat drive, and to know Sean's story, which I do because I recruited him here, and know about the fire and how he was unable to, their house caught on fire because they didn't have heat, and the coat drive is something that he's done a long time around here. And then A.J., obviously, with the community food drive that he has done here for the last few years, shows the impact that these guys feel that this program has had on them for them to come and repeatedly give back the way they have. And then obviously the senior recognition, which for me is always really important because I do what I do because of these kids. And it's a bit smaller group this year because of the landscape we're in. But some of these guys have meant so much to me, to this program, to this community. And I'm really excited to be able to honor them and honor them hopefully by playing winning football. Our game captains this week, Ethan Goff, Shalik Punch Knotts, and Octavian Smith will represent us. And with that, I'll open up to whatever questions you have.
Hey, Mike, just your reaction when your athletic director not only gives an endorsement about your future, but says additional resources are on the way too.
I figured that would be probably the first question. I'll say this, from the day that Diana and Jim got here, Jim and Diana got here, however you want to place it, both those guys have played a huge role in hip to hip with me. There was a time from December 1st up through the hire and the buzz, our basketball coach, that there weren't a lot of people that understood the landscape. And when they got here, I can remember the first meeting I had with them, we presented a plan. And for them to see the plan and understand, and then they've had a chance now to watch what we've done. Obviously, no one, including myself, is happy with where we are when you talk about the map and the terrain. But from the day they got here, they've supported every part of it, and they understand what winning looks like. I mean, Jim coming off of winning a baseball championship with the Braves, Diana and her time at Ohio State obviously understand what it takes, and winning has a cost. Very rarely do you see me stand up here in front of you guys and complain about whether the resources were enough or not enough, because I'm always going to make do with what I have, and that's what we've done. We've given it our best. But to have two people now that are going to stand with me, hip to hip, give me the resources I need to build this program, I've had a total commitment to this area for a long time. I was asked last week why. I spent 37 years in this business doing what I do, and AJ and Sean are a reflection of it. I spent 17 seasons on this campus. Not very many people know the ins and outs of this campus like I have. And to have two people now that share the same special vision that I have, while also seeing the foundation of what we have when we didn't have all the resources that we needed, I'm excited. I see a light at the end of the tunnel. So really glad about the support, opportunity to stay here, committed to an area that I believe in because I'm from here.
How much does that commitment now allow you just to focus all on the on-field stuff and not the distractions that may come with
it's
the job?
always been about the kids for me. I mean, the only time it bothers me is when it bothers them. And I can't protect them from social media. I can't protect them from the things that are being said about the program. But anybody that walks through Jones Hill House knows, one, there ain't a coach in college that feels safe Safe ain't a word that's in my vocabulary. I've never felt safe in my life, all right? I've always been committed, and that's the word that's in my vocabulary. I've been committed to the DMV area. I've been committed to football here on this campus. I've been committed to doing good work with kids and this community, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Hey, Coach. Jim Smith said in his letter that, like Gene said, there's going to be a significant amount of resources coming into this program, not only next year, but beyond. So I just want to ask, can you expand on that to where?
I'm not going to do that now. That's for Jim to talk about, Michael. Good question. I don't get up here and talk about what we have and don't have. I've told you, we've been resourced to go to bowl games. But winning has a cost, and if you want to win big, obviously there's examples all throughout the country of commitments that have been made. Not saying that I haven't had enough resources, because what's enough? I know this. The only question I've ever asked was, put me in the middle. When he asked me what I need, I said, put me in the middle. And if you put me in the middle, I think if you look at the type of roster we've put together over the years, don't always have the depth, don't always have the ability with the injuries that we face but with the added resources, I think you'll see those things.
Why hasn't that investment level matching occurred already here in College Park and when Damon was 80 here?
It's not for me to discuss. That's above my pay grade to discuss. I know what I've been given from the time I got here. I know what I walked into. I've always chose hard. You know, I had a cushy job down in Tuscaloosa, but I like this place. I love this place, and it was important for me to come back and do my part to help put a foundation together that allows Maryland football to have a chance to compete at the highest level.
And then off-topic question, I'm working on a story about Zahir and Sydney's bond through their faith, and I wanted to ask you, whether it's Christian, Muslim, how do you see faith kind of shaping your players' daily routines and habits in the locker room?
That's a good question, because, you know, I don't know if you know, I have had a tremendous transformation in how I've handled things, and a lot of it is because of my faith. And with my Christian faith that I have respect for all faiths. We build the whole character of a kid. We want them to be the best academics, the best football, and the best person, and faith plays a big role in that, and it's a big part of my program.
Hi, Coach. Now that you kind of got that reassurance and doubling down from this staff here, has that trickled down to the locker room and you guys are able to focus and keep that noise out and focus on these next couple games?
You know, I think the best thing is, so I've always messaged honestly, authentically, you know, contrary to what some people think. I don't believe in getting up here and BSing y'all. I kind of tell you how I feel. And I message through my leadership council. I have a group of kids on my team or players on my team that represent the demographics of our team. And we had a meeting on Sunday, and I knew that meeting was happening before the game on Saturday. You know, I met with Jim. We meet weekly. Diana's at most of the practices, so they see firsthand the work that we're doing behind the scenes that you guys aren't always privy to. And I think because of that, they have an understanding that what the future looks like, and they also know, I mean, they get to see the background of the resources and what we have and haven't had. I don't get up here and complain about resources. I just know this, winning has a cost, and they understand that. I've presented a plan for what it takes to win here at Maryland, and they're behind me and behind that plan.